Chapter 9 of the Boy Scouts Book of Campfire Stories. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Boy Scouts Book of Campfire Stories, Chapter 9, Dey Ain't No Ghosts, by Ellis Parker Butler.
Once upon a time there was a little black boy what his name was Mose. And when he come along to be 'bout knee-high to a mule, he 'gin to get powerful afraid of ghosts, 'cause dey's a graveyard in the hollow, and a burying ground on the hill, and a cemetery in betwixt and between, and dey ain't nothing but trees nowhere in the clearing by the shanty and down the hollow where the pumpkin patch is. And when the night come along, dey ain't no sound at all what can be heard in that locality but the rain doves what mourn out, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh," just that tremulous and scary, and the owls what mourn out, "Hoo, hoo, 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 hoo," more tremulous and scary than that, and the wind what mourn out, "Ooh, ooh," most scandalous, tremulous, and scary of all. That a powerful unpleasant locality for a little black boy what his name was Mose. 'Cause that little black boy he so specially black he can't be seen in the dark at all, 'cept by the whites of his eyes. So when he go out in the house at night, he ain't dast shut his eyes, 'cause then ain't nobody can see him in the least. He just as invisible as nothing, and who knows but what a great big ghost bump right into him 'cause it can't see him. And that sure would scare that little black boy powerful bad, 'cause everybody knows what a cold, damp personality a ghost is. So when that little black Mose go out in the shanty at night, he keep his eyes wide open, you may be sure. By day, his eyes 'bout the size of butter pads. Come sundown, his eyes 'bout the size of saucers. But when he go out of the shanty at night, his eyes am the size of the white chiny plate what's set on the mantel, and it powerful hard to keep eyes what are the size of that from a winking and a blinking. So when Halloween come along, that little black Mose he just make up his mind he ain't gwine out in the shack at all. He cogitate he gwine stay right snug in the shack with his pa and his ma, 'cause the rain doves take notice that the ghosts are philandering round the country, 'cause they mourn out, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh," and the owls they mourn out, "Woo, ooh, ooh, ooh." The eyes of that little black Mose they as big as the white chiny plate what's set on the mantel by the side of the clock, and the sun just a-setting. So that all right. Little black Mose he scrooged back in the corner by the fireplace, and he 'low he gwine stay there till he gwine to bed. But by Sally Ann, what live up the road, draps in, and Mr. Sally Ann, what is her husband, he draps in, and Zack Badget, and the school teacher what board at Unc' Silas Diggs' house drap in, and a powerful lot of folks drap in. And little black Mose he seen that gwine be one surprise party, and he right down cheerful 'bout that. So all them folks shake their hands and 'low howdy, and some of 'em say, "Why, there's little Mose. Howdy, little Mose." And he so pleased he just grin and grin, 'cause he ain't reckon what gwine happen. So by Sally Ann, what live up the road, she say ain't no sort of Halloween less we got a jack-o'-lantern. And the school teacher, what board at Unc' Silas Diggs' house, she 'low Halloween just no Halloween at all 'thout we got a jack-o'-lantern. And little black Mose he stop a-grinnin', and he scrunched so far back in the corner he most scrunched through the wall. But that ain't no use, 'cause Ma say, "Mose, Go on down to the pumpkin patch and fetch a pumpkin." "I ain't wanna go," say little black Mose. "Go along wid you," say his ma, right commandin'. "I ain't wanna go," say Mose again. "Why ain't you wanna go?" his ma ask. "'Cause I's afraid of the ghosts," say little black Mose, and dat the particular truth, ain't no mistake. "Dey ain't no ghosts," say the school teacher what board at Unc Silas Diggs' house, right pert. "Course dey ain't no ghosts," say Zack Badget. What dat feared of ghosts he ain't dare come to little black Mose's house if the school teacher ain't accompany him. "Go 'long wid your ghosts," say little black Mose's ma. "Where you pick up dat nonsense?" say he pa. "Dey ain't no ghosts." And dat what all dat surprise party 'lows, dey ain't no ghosts. And dey 'low dey mus' have a jack-o'-lantern or all the fun spoiled. So dat little black boy what name is Mose, he done got to fetch a pumpkin from the pumpkin patch down the holler. So he step out in the shanty, and he stand on the doorstep till he get his eyes pried open as big as the bottom of ma's wash tub, mostly, and he say, "Dey ain't no ghost." And he put one foot on the ground, and that was the first step. And the rain dove say, "Woo, woo, woo, woo." And little black Mose, he took another step, and the owl mourn out, "Woo, woo, woo, woo." And little black Mose, he took another step, and the wind sob out, "Woo, woo." And little black Mose, he took one look over his shoulder, and he shut his eyes so tight they hurt round the edges. And he pick up his foots and run. Yes, sir, he ran right pert fast. And he say, "Dey ain't no ghosts, dey ain't no ghosts." And he run along the path what lead by the burying ground on the hill, 'cause dey ain't no fence round that burying ground at all. No fence. Just the big trees what the owls and the rain doves sot in and mourn and sob, and what the wind sigh and cry through. And by something just brush little Mose on the arm, which make him run just a bit more faster. And by something just brush little Mose on the cheek, which make him run about as fast as he can. And by something grab little Mose by the edge of his coat, and he fight and struggle and cry out, "Dey ain't no ghosts, dey ain't no ghosts." And that ain't nothing but the wild briar what grab him, and that ain't nothing but the leaf of a tree what brush his cheek, and that ain't nothing but the branch of a hazel bush what brush the arm. But he downright scared just the same. And he ain't lost no time, 'cause the wind and the owls and the rain doves, they signify what ain't no good. So he scoot past that burying ground what on the hill, and that cemetery what betwixt and between, and that graveyard in the holler, till he come to the pumpkin patch. And he reach down and take hold of the bestest pumpkin what in the patch, and he right smart scared. He just the mostest scared little black boy what ever was. He ain't gwine open his eyes for nothing, 'cause the wind go, "Woo," and the owls go, "Hoo, hoo, 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 hoo," and the rain doves go, "Woo, woo." He just speculate dey ain't no ghosts, and wish he hair don't stand in that way. And he just cogitate, "Dey ain't no ghosts," and wish his goose pimple don't rise up that way. And he just 'low, "Dey ain't no ghosts," and wish his backbone ain't all tremulous with chills that way. So he ratched down and he ratched down till he got a good hold on dat pricklesome stem of dat bestest pumpkin what in the patch, and he just yanked dat stem with all his might. "Let loosen my head," say a big voice all on a sudden. Dat little black boy, what his name is Mose, he jumped most out'n his skin. He opened his eyes and he began to shake like an aspen tree, 'cause what dat a standin' right there behind him but a menjous big ghost. Yas, sah, dat the biggest, whitest ghost what ever was, and it ain't got no head. Ain't got no head at all. Little black Mose, he just drap on his knees and he beg and pray. "Oh, 'scuse me, Mr. Ghost," he beg. "I ain't mean no harm at all." "What for you try to take my head?" asked the ghost in that fearsome voice what like the damp wind out in the cellar. "'Scuse me," begged little Mose. "I ain't know that was your head, and I ain't know you was there at all. 'Scuse me." "I 'scuse you if you do me this favor," say the ghost. "I got something powerful important to say unto you, and I can't say it 'cause I ain't got no head, and when I ain't got no head I ain't got no mouth, and when I ain't got no mouth I can't talk at all. And that right logical for sure. Can't nobody talk when he ain't got no mouth, and can't nobody have no mouth when he ain't got no head, and when little black Mose he look, he see that ghost ain't got no head at all, nary head. So the ghost say, "I come on down here for to get a pumpkin for a head, and I pick that exact pumpkin what you gwine take, and I don't like that one bit. No, sir. I feel like I pick you up and carry you away, and nobody see you no more forever. But I got something powerful important to say unto you, and if you'll pick up that pumpkin and set it on the place where my head ought to be, I'll let you off this time, 'cause I ain't been able to talk for so long I'm right hungry to say something." So little black Mose he heft up that pumpkin, and the ghost he bent down, and little black Mose he sot that pumpkin on the ghost's neck, and right off that pumpkin head 'gin to wink and blink like a jack-o'-lantern, and right off dat pumpkin head 'gin to glimmer and glow through the mouth like a jack-o'-lantern, and right off dat ghost started to speak. Yas, sir, that's so. "What you want to say unto me?" inquired little black Mose. "I want to tell you," say the ghost, "dat you ain't need never be scared of ghosts, 'cause they ain't no ghosts." And when he say that, the ghost just vanish away like the smoke in July. He ain't even linger round that locality like the smoke in October. He just dissipate out in the air, and he gone entirely. So little Mose he grab up the next bestest pumpkin and he scoot, and when he come to the graveyard in the holler, he's going along same as ever, only faster, when he reckon he'll pick up a club in case he gwine have trouble. He reach down and take hold of a lively appearing hunk of wood what right there, and when he grab that hunk of wood, "Let loosen my leg," say a big voice all on a sudden. Dat little black boy most jumpin' out of his skin, 'cause right there in the path is 6 menjous big ghosts, and the biggest ain't got but one leg. So little black Mose just naturally handed out dat hunk of wood to dat biggest ghost, and he say, "'Scuse me, Mr. Ghost, I ain't know dis your leg." And what them 6 ghosts do but stand round and confabulate? Yas, sir, that's so. And when they do so, one say, "'Pears like dis a mighty likely little black boy. What we gwine do for to reward him for politeness? Tell him what the truth is 'bout ghosts." So the biggest ghost, he say, "I'm gwine tell you something important what everybody don't know. Dey ain't no ghosts." And when he say that, the ghost just naturally vanish away, and little black Mose he proceed up the path. He's so scared his hair just yank at the roots, and when the wind go whoo, and the owl go whoo, 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 and the rain does go whoo, whoo, He just tremble and shake. And by he come to the cemetery what betwixt and between, and he sure is mighty scared, 'cause there's a whole company of ghosts lined up along the road, and he 'low he ain't gwine spend no more time palavering with ghostes. So he step offen the road for to get round thereabout, and he step on a pine stump what lay right there. "Get off of my chest," say a big voice all on a sudden, 'cause dat stump been selected by the captain of the ghosts for to be his chest, 'cause he ain't got no chest betwixt his shoulders and his legs. And little black Mose, he hop off of that stump right pert. Yes, sir, right pert. "'Scuse me, dat little black Mose beg and plead, and the ghostes ain't know whether to eat him up or not, 'cause he step on the boss ghost's chest dat-a-way. But by they 'low they let him go, 'cause dat was an accident. And the captain ghost, he say, "Mose, you Mose, I gwine let you off dis time, 'cause you ain't nothing but a miserable little trembling nigger, but I want you should remember one thing most particular." "Yes, sir," say that little black boy. "I'll remember. What is dat I gotta remember?" The captain ghost, he swell up, and he swell up twell he was big as a house, and he say in a voice what shake the ground, "Dey ain't no ghosts." So little black Mose, he bound to remember dat, and he rise up and make a bow, and he proceed toward home right lively. He do indeed. And he gwine along jes as fast as he kin when he come up to the edge of the burying ground what on the hill, and right there he bound to stop, 'cause the country round about him so populate he ain't able to go through. Yes, sir, seem like all the ghostes in the world having the conference right there. Seem like all the ghostes what ever was having a convention on that spot. And that little black Mose so scared, he just fall down on the old log what there and screech and moan. And all on a sudden the log up and spoke to little Mose. "Get off of me! Get off of me!" yelled that log. So little black Mose, he get offen that log and ain't no mistake. And soon as he get offen the log uprise, and little black Mose, he see that log and the king of all the ghostes. And when the king uprise, all the congregation crowd round little black Mose, and dey's 'bout 11 million and a few left over. Yes, sir, dat the regular annual Halloween convention what little black Mose interrupt. Right there am all the spirits in the world, and all the haints in the world, and all the hobgoblins in the world, and all the ghouls in the world, and all the specters in the world, and all the ghostes in the world. And when they see little black Mose, they all gnash their teeth and grin, 'cause it getting along toward dey all's lunch time. So the king, what his name, Old Skull and Bones, he step on top of little Mose's head, and he say, "Gentlemen, the convention will come to order. The secretary please note who's present. The first business what come before the convention is what we gwine do with a little black boy what step on the king and maul all over the king and treat the king dat disrespectful." And little black Mose just moan and sob, "'Scuse me, Mr. King. I ain't mean no harm at all." But ain't nobody pay no 'tention to him at all, 'cause everyone's looking at a monstrous big haint what name is Bloody Bones, what rose up and spoke. "Your Honor, Mr. King, and gentlemen and ladies," he say, "this a right bad case of lazy majesty, 'cause the king been step on. When every little black boy what choose gwine wander round at night and step on the king of ghostes, it ain't no time to palaver. It ain't no time for to prevaricate. It ain't no time for to cogitate. It ain't no time to do nothing but tell the truth and the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And all them go sick in the motion, and they confabulate out loud about it, and the noise sound like the rain doves going, ooh, 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 and the owls going, ooh, 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 and the wind going, ooh. So that resolution passed unanimous. Ain't no mistake. So the king of the ghosts, what name Old Skull and Bones, he placed his hand on the head of little black Mose, and his hand feel like a wet rag, and he say, "They ain't no ghost." And one of the hairs on the head of old black Mose turned white, and the monstrous big hand, what he named Bloody Bones, he lay his hand on the head of little black Mose, and his hand feel like a toadstool in the cool of the day, and he say, "They ain't no ghosts." And another of the hairs what on the head of little black Mose turned white, and a Heejus spirit what is named Moldy Pam placed his hand on the head of little black Mose, and his hand feel like your yonder side of a lizard, and he say, "They ain't no ghosts." And another of the hairs what on the head of little black Mose turned white as snow. And a particular Benab hobgoblin, he put hand on the head of little black Mose, and he make that same remark. And that whole convention of ghosts and specters and haints and everything, which are more than a million, pass by so quick, they's all hands feel like the wind would blow out in the cellar when the day's hot. And they all say, "They ain't no ghosts." Yes, sir, they say all them words so fast it sound like the wind when it moan through the turkentine trees what behind the cypress. And every hair what on little black Mose's head turned white. That what happened when a little black boy gwine meet a ghost convention that away. That's so he ain't gwine forget to remember they ain't no ghosts. 'Cause if a little black boy gwine imaginate they's is ghosts, he gwine be scared in the dark, and that's a foolish thing for to imaginate. So presently all the ghosts whiff away, like the fog out in the holler when the wind blow on it, and little black Mose he ain't see 'cause for to remain in that locality no longer. He reached down and he raised up the pumpkin, and he perambulate right quick toward his ma's shack, and he lift up the latch, and he open the door, and he enter in, and he say, "Here's the pumpkin." And his ma and his pa and Sally Ann, what live up the road, and Mr. Sally Ann, what her husband, and Zach Badgett, and the school teacher what board at Unc Silas Diggs' house, and all the powerful lot of folks what come to the doings, they all scrunched back in the corner of the shack, 'cause Zach Badgett, he been done tell a ghost tale, and the rain does gwine ooh, 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 and the owls and gwine ooh, 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 and the wind it gwine ooh, ooh, and everybody powerful scared. 'Cause little black Mose, he come a-fumbling and rattling at the door just when that ghost tale most scary, and everybody gwine imaginate that ghost a-fumbling and rattling at the door. Yes, sir. So little black Mose, he turn his white head, and he look round and peer round, and he say, "What you all scared for?" 'Cause if anybody's scared, he want to be scared too. That's natural. But the school teacher what live at Unc Silas Diggs' house, she say, "For the land's sake, we thought you was a ghost." So little black Mose, he sort of sniff and he sort of sneer, and he 'low, "Huh, they ain't no ghosts." Then his ma, she so powerful took back that little black Mose he gwine be so uppitish and contradict folks what know arithmetics and algebraics and general counting without fingers, like the school teacher what board at Unc Silas Diggs' house knows. And she say, "Huh, What you know 'bout ghosts anyway?" And little black Mose, he just kind of stand on one foot, and he just kind of suck his thumb, and he just kind of 'low, "I don't know nothing 'bout ghosts, 'cause they ain't no ghosts." So his pa gwine whop him for tellin' a fib 'bout they ain't no ghosts when everybody know they's ghosts. But the school teacher, what boarded at Uncle Silas Diggs' house, she took note the hair of little black Mose's head plumb white, and she took note little black Mose's face and the color of wood ash. So she just ratch up one arm round that little black boy, and she just snuggle him up, and she say, "Honey lamb, don't you be scared. Ain't nobody gwine hurt you. How you know they ain't no ghosts?" And little black Mose, he kind of lean up against the school teacher what boarded at Uncle Silas Diggs' house, and he 'low, "Cause I met the Captain Ghost, and I met the General Ghost, and I met the King Ghost, and I met the ghostest what ever was in the whole world, and every ghost say the same thing. They ain't no ghosts. And if the Captain Ghost, and the General Ghost, and the King Ghost, and all the ghosts in the whole world don't know if they're a ghost, who does?" That's right, honey lamb," say the school teacher. And she say, "I been suspicious they ain't no ghosts this long whiles, and now I know. If all the ghosts say they ain't no ghosts, they ain't no ghosts." So everybody 'low that 'cept Zach Badgett, what been tellin' the ghost tale, and he ain't gwine tell yes, and he ain't gwine say no, 'cause he right sweet on the school teacher. But he know right well he done seen plenty ghosts in his day. So he bound to be sure first. So he say to little black Mose, "'Tain't likely you met with a monstrous big hand what lived down the lane what had named Bloody Bones?" "Yes," say little black Mose, "I done met up with him." "And did old Bloody Bones done told you they ain't no ghosts?" say Zach Badgett. "Yes," say little black Mose, "he done tell me perzactly that." "Well, if he told you they ain't no ghosts," say Zach Badgett, "I got to 'low they ain't no ghosts, 'cause he ain't gwine tell no lie about it. I know that Bloody Bones ghost since I was a pickaninny, and I done met up with him a powerful lot of times, and he ain't gwine tell no lie about it. If that particular ghost say they ain't no ghosts, they ain't no ghosts." So everybody say, "That's right, they ain't no ghosts." And that make little black Mose feel mighty good, 'cause he ain't like ghosters. He reckon he gwine be a heap more comfortable in his mind since he know they ain't no ghosts, and he reckon he ain't gwine to be scared of nuffin never no more. He ain't gwine mind the dark. He ain't gwine mind the rain doves what go ooh, ooh, ooh. And he ain't gwine mind the owls what go ooh, 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 ooh. And he ain't gwine mind the wind what go ooh, nor nuffin no how. He gwine be brave as a lion since he know for sure they ain't no ghosts. So presently his ma say, "Well, time for a little black boy what name is Mose to be gwine up the ladder to the loft to bed." And little black Mose, he 'low he gwine wait a bit. He 'low he gwine just wait a little bit. He 'low he gwine be no trouble at all if he just been let wait twell his ma she gwine up the ladder to the loft to bed too. So his ma she say, "Get along wid you. What you scared of when they ain't no ghosts?" And little black Mose he scrunch, and he twist, and he pucker up his mouth, and he rub his eyes, and presently he say right low, "I ain't scared of ghosts what am, 'cause they ain't no ghosts." "Den what are you scared of?" ask his ma. "Nuffin," say the little black boy what his name is Mose. but I jes feel kinda uneasy 'bout de ghosts what ain't. Just like white folks, just like white folks.
End of chapter 9.